All right. Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday, and welcome to episode 74 of The Honor Advocate. This is a special edition today. Now, as you all know, at The Honor Advocate, we look to provide education, support, and empowerment for all of those with different abilities, mental and medical illnesses, and their caregivers. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Tammy Flynn, and I am the host and producer of The Honor Advocate, and I am super excited if you are here this morning joining us, or if you are catching this on the replay. Now, as always, if any of this content that we are talking about today you think could be relevant or helpful for anyone you know, please hit the share button and share the love. And so this morning in this special edition, I am so excited to have Gary Nowitz here. He is the president of Pressalit Care North America, which he's going to tell us more about it, but is one of the leading manufacturers and developers of products to promote independence for the elderly and the disabled. So I'm super excited to have you here, Gary.
Hey, Tammy, how are you this morning?
I
Thanks
am
for the invite.
good.
Appreciate it.
I'm good. So before we get started, can you just let us know a little bit about yourself, your position at Pressalit Care, and then let's go into a little bit about the history about the company.
Sure. My responsibility as president of Pressalit Care North America is develop awareness through social media and also working directly with architects that are designing facilities throughout the U.S. And Canada. Pressalit Care is a division of Pressalit, which is a company from Denmark. Pressalit started in 1954, so it's a company that's been around for many years. All of our products are designed and manufactured in Denmark, and we're sold in 50 countries. We have two divisions. One division is toilet seats, where we manufacture toilet seats and are Europe's largest manufacturer of toilet seats. The division that I work for is Pressalit Care, which is focused on flexible bathroom solutions in a number of market segments. For example, healthcare, hospitality, education, and also for residential.
Okay, so the bathroom, and then I know that I had seen some different pictures for also kitchens, like kitchen adaptions and whatnot. Is that through this division of Pressalit Care, or is that a different division?
No, that is also one of our product ranges. The product range is called Indivo, and what it involves is height adjustable kitchen counters for the disabled in wheelchairs and height adjustable upper kitchen cabinets. And it's all designed around safety and flexibility. For example, the upper kitchen cabinets allow the cabinet to come off the wall and straight down, so someone who is short can reach what they're looking for, press a button, and the cabinet goes up. The same with the counters. You could raise the height of the kitchen counter, for example, so that somebody in a wheelchair can get up very close to the counter and work in the kitchen. If there's a sink in that section of the counter, we have flexible feed and waste, so it allows the sink to move up and down, as well as a stove top. What is attractive for us is assisted living facilities where couples are sharing an apartment, where the husband could be over 6 feet and the wife could be under 5 feet. And what we want to promote is a safe environment in the kitchen, so that the person under 5 feet doesn't have to stand on a step stool to reach something in an upper cabinet, because there's a fall risk there.
Okay. I know I was watching some of the YouTube videos, and the products are amazing. They're so cool. They're so cool and awesome. And being so much in the different abilities community myself, my son having multiple disabilities, it is just amazing products. And I didn't even know that some of these products existed until I started watching these videos, seeing and hearing more about your company. So I am excited about that. Now, I know that we did a feature last month and now this month as well on the youth and adult changing tables and the lack of them across the United States, the need for them and understanding. But in none of the segments that we did have we really been able to see the value, how valuable these tables are in their adjustableness, safety, all of that sort of thing. So at this time, could we bring up that video?
Sure.
And so that you can kind of walk through that. For those who maybe don't know the fight that's going on for the lack of youth and adult changing tables across the United States, it is definitely something that we all need to be fighting and campaigning for, because whether it is for our young adults or it is our, our medical people with different medical impairments or our aging loved ones, definitely a need for them in our restrooms, especially in our larger establishments across the U.S.
Sure. So let me share my screen right now so we could show the audience the video. And can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. I just can't see the video yet. So as soon as we put up the YouTube video, that's what we were playing with before. So we logged on. Make sure we all can watch this. And then can you walk everybody a little bit through this as well?
Sure. So what we're looking at is our adult changing table. It's a model 3000, and it is used extensively in public places, public restrooms, museums, libraries, schools, K through 10, universities, children's hospitals, rehab hospitals, group homes, residential, airports, YMCA, sports stadiums, bus and train stations, malls, adult daycare, amusement parks, and so forth. The product has it's a showering bench and a changing table. So if someone is soiled and they have to clean the patient, they can do that without any problem at all. It has a weight capacity of 440 pounds, and they're used extensively in all of those markets.
And for the safety aspects, aside from the fact that these really should be in every public restroom, large facilities across the United States, for just the purpose of human dignity and not laying our loved ones on the floor, when we look at the safety components to that and it being more of an electrical table versus one that latches in, where would you say, the need? I know that the powered ones, especially in talking to all the moms that are campaigning for this, is what they're looking for, is the powered adult changing tables. And can you just kind of lend to the safety measures of that and how that helps?
Well, we work a lot with safe working environments. So there are a couple of aspects. One is making sure that the caregiver doesn't get injured, because a caregiver could be a primary caregiver. We've worked extensively in hospitals as well, where nursing staff gets injured lifting or transferring a patient. It's the same here, but there is an adaptive equipment in these public restrooms. That's where this changing table comes in. It's height adjustable for many reasons. One being if the wheelchair is a different model, a lower wheelchair, you could lower the table down to the height of the wheelchair seat and perform a lateral transfer. Once that's done safely, we have a safety rail that goes up to prevent the patient from sliding or falling off. We know that when we're working ergonomically with people, they tend to move quickly. There could be spasms and so forth, and we want to be careful that the patient doesn't get hurt, or that the caregiver doesn't pull a muscle or slip a disc, which is very important. And then ergonomically, when the action is being performed, you would raise the height of the table to the perfect height for the caregiver, so they could change the patient or bathe the patient, and then dry the patient. This particular model is contoured, and it's soft rubber padding with slots, so that the water, if it's used as a showering bench, the water will seep through the slots and then down a drain, which is attached to a floor drain. We have 3 different models. This is one of our most sold models.
Okay. And what are the other options that are available when it comes to the adult changing tables?
Well, I think space is a big issue in these rooms. So this particular product and all of our products actually fold up against the wall. and it takes up about 7 inches of space when it's folded up. Folding it down, obviously you need room, so we have some requirements as far as the size of the room so that the patients can maneuver safely. We work closely with the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, to make sure that there's a 60-inch turning radius, which allows for a wheelchair to pivot from toilet to changing table or what have you. If it's too small, if the area is too small, then it's going to cause a safety hazard. We're also aware that when you're looking at the turning radius, by adding a person or a piece of equipment into the equation, you're going to need more room to maneuver. So if there's an aid helping lift, for example, you need a lot more room for that. Many of these are used in association with ceiling lifts in healthcare facilities, not too much in public restrooms in the U.S., but in the U.K., we are one of the leaders in changing places in the U.K. So we're doing a lot with that and putting some of our other products into these bathrooms. In the U.S., it's not quite there yet. The changing tables are there, but there are certainly other components with using our product.
Now, have you seen with I guess the rally that has kind of started across the United States that, you know, we have parents and those of elderly loved ones kind of campaigning to get these tables into facilities over the last few years? Have you seen a rise in that in the U.S. of the purchase of, you know, more adult changing tables? Have you seen that change at all yet? Or, I mean, as we say, change is coming. I mean, all of us moms, you know, we know that if we campaign long enough, it will change. But have you seen that yet here in the U.S.? I know the U.K. does an amazing job.
They do.
At this.
Well, we're advocating with state, local, and federal agencies, as well as working together with 2 main organizations in the U.S., Changing Spaces and Universal Changing Places. And we've worked closely with a number of the moms or advocates, as we call them. And they are actually the ones in the trenches that have experienced all of these issues and are working closely with their local authorities, explaining to them that it's very important to put these into these public places. So yes, we could see an increase. What's interesting as well is in Canada, in the province of Ontario, it is part of the building code. So commercial buildings in Ontario require an adult changing table. So we are seeing a radical increase in exposure there. Canadian authorities may be a little more advanced than the U.S., and we're seeing that expand over to other provinces as well. Quebec, British Columbia, it seems to be expanding. So there's definitely a movement. We're doing a lot with our Facebook and social media, as well as working with the advocates. We did a 3-part video series as well, which is on YouTube, which tells about the mothers and their experiences. We also interviewed a YMCA and why they feel that this is important for their disabled that are coming in to use the swimming pool and other facilities, as well as a school system actually in Chicago, where they have been installing changing tables in Chicago and many other school districts for many years. What they have had previously is a non-height adjustable table that flips up and flips down. It's cold. It normally doesn't really work because of the weight capacity. If you're familiar with the baby changing tables in airports, they have a maximum weight capacity of 75 pounds. And also they're short. So that's where we're addressing this, very successfully.
That is wonderful. And I think that the main thing is that we're getting the knowledge out there to everyone, because if they don't know that it's an issue, if the public that isn't in the trenches doing this every day and living with their loved ones with different abilities and caring for others or having different abilities themselves, they don't even know that it's an issue. But once they do, I mean, this last couple months that I have, we've been kind of rallying and bringing more awareness, people are like, I never thought about that. Like if you're not utilizing it yourself, sometimes you don't. And, to think of the cost as when you're looking at these billion-dollar arenas that are being built and the minimal cost. I know yesterday I got real fired up during the interview because one of the ladies had mentioned that in one of the newest arenas that was built, one of the new arenas was over $1 or $2 billion. And the artwork alone in the arena was $2.5 million. The artwork. Are we saying that human dignity for $7,000 or $8,000, you know what I'm saying? That artwork, say how many tables could you buy for $2 million? I mean, supersedes human dignity for our young adults, our kiddos with needs, and our aging loved ones. So I am just so happy that you're able to also visually give people that aspect of these tables, the safety, because like you were saying, if the caregivers get hurt, if the people within the facilities get hurt, who is going to be there then to care for their loved ones? Because I have heard, we kind of did a research project as to where there was in our area tables, and there are some places that just have like the bed tables, that are just kind of more like an emergency bed. But like you're talking about, I mean, the risk of back injury and being hurt when it doesn't raise up and lower.
Yeah, there's some statistics as far as caregiver back injuries as compared to construction workers. And caregiver back injuries are more expensive. There's more of them than construction workers. So in hospitals, in facilities, nursing staff, if they get hurt, there's workers' compensation, there's lost time. There's many different problems with that. When you're talking about the larger sports complexes and larger buildings, we are very involved with architects, making presentations throughout the U.S. and in Canada, talking to them when they're designing facilities or renovating facilities. And a topic that always comes up is budget, obviously, and a term called value engineering. And value engineering is basically removing the layers of they find too expensive or unnecessary products. And what we try to work with them on is the smallest part of the building, the operating costs, and the life of the project, of the building should be taken into consideration. And some of these facilities that have changing tables, they use that in their marketing as well, that we are friendly. We have family restrooms. I've been through many airports in the U.S., and they have changing tables as well. So it's a growing process. I think in the UK there's probably 1,000 right now, but they started maybe 8 or 10 years ago, so they're ahead of us.
Right.
The difference as well is in the UK, their restrooms are locked. They're closed. Okay, so there are special key codes for the users to punch in before they could use these specific rooms. In the U.S., they are not locked. They cannot be locked, so that anyone could go in there. So what we are in the process of doing, we have a show in Phoenix called the Healthcare Design Show, where we're launching a new changing table that's specifically designed for public restrooms, and we call it a vandalism proof. So we're working very hard on making sure that the products are operational when someone goes into one of these unlocked restrooms and can use them.
Right. And you wouldn't even think of that being an issue, but I'm sure that it is. I'm sure that
we found that out the hard way, but yes, it is. Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited about all the stuff that you're doing. For the rest of this week, I will be putting up different videos of other products, aside from just the the adult changing tables. So you can see some of the cool products that you guys have for sinks, which are just like awesome, and counters and all of that stuff. If somebody wants to find out where there is a distributor in their area, what is the best way for them to get a hold of you guys, send an inquiry, any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, Going on to our website, Pressalit.com, there's a list of products. Many of the products have videos embedded in the product sheets. There's specifications. There's also a dealer locator. What I would suggest is we have an app, a free app. It's called Pressalit Spaces. And by downloading that app on your iPad, it has different market segments, different buildings that you could click on a blue plus and you go into that building, like in a hotel or in a hospital or assisted living or residential. And then there's, it brings you into a mock-up graphic bathroom. And by clicking on any of the products, you can actually see how they move and how they operate. So Pressalit Spaces is a very good way to get some more information. The kitchen products, we don't have that in Pressalit Spaces, and that would simply be going onto YouTube and searching for Pressalit Indivo, I-N-D-I-V-O, and there's a video there as well.
Okay, awesome. And some of those for the app and everything, can we drop that maybe in the Facebook comments below here, below this feed? We can get that drop there.
There's a web access as well as download onto tablets. Yes.
All right, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Gary, for spending the morning, part of the morning with me here. I'm so excited. I am so excited about all the things that Pressalit Care is doing. And I thank you guys for taking this dive with all of us advocates to create change. Within our communities. So thank you guys very much. If you guys want any more information about the services that we provide over here at the On Air Advocate, you can head over to onairadvocate.com, or if you want to be part of our private Facebook group, you can head on up to the top of this Facebook page, hit the blue button, and it will take you to our On Air Advocate community. On that note, you guys all have a fabulous Thursday. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.